Hey guys, welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Let's take a look at the level ups. So I gave Abelard Athletics and Punish the Imprudent just for an extra attack when the enemies try to engage him in melee. Marajai, I gave him Demolition because it seems to be Demolition focus by default. And I gave him Perfect Opening just because we're stacking lethality obviously, and then that should give us nice boost to damage when hitting an opening. Cassia, I gave her Persuasion. I think it's Persuasion, and then I also gave her Unnatural Allure, and it basically gave her 22 Fellowship. As you can see here, it tells you 22 from Unnatural Allure. It's quite a nice boost, so hopefully that'll help us with the dialogue skill checks. And Elliot got Demolition and Pierce the Armor. Figure that I didn't really particularly like any other option there, so I went with Pierce the Armor, and that benefits everyone, so that's always nice. And I gave Pascal Logic to balance out logic and tech use a bit, and then also Flay the Bold just for a bit of debuffing. And I gave Stooge Awareness and Lethal Concentration just so he gets a bit more lethality, and hopefully that'll help us stack up faster so that we can do more damage with Killing Edge. Okay, and now I think, since we're here, no, that's not, yeah, okay, well, it looks like we brought a Clendil here, but I guess Marajai was the one that opened the Webway Gate, which is fine, that's okay, that's why we brought all three of them. We managed to get what Marajai wanted, although I don't think that was necessarily needed for him to open the Webway Gate, just to finish his personal quest. Got that device that Elliot needed to open the portal, and then a Clendil could open it too, I think. But we brought him here, so, and we can't chat to him. But let's head out and see what happens.
With the physical horrors of Commorragh behind them, a long and arduous journey, possible only with the help of a Xenos guide, lay ahead for the rogue trader and his party. From one strange destination to the next, through unknowable environments, the mere sight of which could drive one to madness. Despite the challenges, they managed to escape the labyrinthian webway and find their way back home.
Okay, it looks like the Webway Gate back on Janus then. Old man. Poorly shaved commoner in worn coveralls eyes you with suspicion. He is clutching an autogun that looks like it's one careless reload away from falling apart. The man narrows his eyes and inquires, "Oi, who are you lot? You're not bandits, are you?" Upon noticing a non-human in your retinue, the old man grimaces with contempt and clutches the Aquila hanging around his neck. And chumming around with inhuman scum, no less. Begone, you lanky freak. I compel you with Saint Cognatius's name, with Saint Nicomedes Keith's name, with Saint Drusus's name. Clendil casts a weary eye over the commoner and inquires quietly, "Is this monkey possessed or simply mad?" I'm the master of this planet, Stooge von Valancius, and I require something of you. Blessed throne, you're joshing me, his lordship in these here backwoods. What an honor, a big ol' honor this. The man drops to his knees and tries his best to hide his travesty of a firearm, pretending like he wasn't just pointing it at your chest a moment ago. I'm just a low-born, small, humble man. I've only ever seen your lustrous visage on the holy icons in the temples of the capital. So, who are you? I'm a scout, your lordship. I wander the woods, I test the soil. Taking great care, the old man reaches into his sack and pulls out scratched auspex with a long spike, wrapped in a muddy rag. The tech priest told me, once 1,000 steps you have walked, thrust the mystical probe into the soil, say a prayer, then press the smaragdine seal. Offer 3 prayers to the emperor, then press the ruby seal. Thus will the probe test the land and tell you what minerals dwell therein. What do the people of Janus say about my abduction? What's that? Did some rotter abduct you? Who could perpetrate such villainy, stealing his lordship? The nerve. We ain't heard nothing here on old Janus. How are things in the colony? I won't shame myself by complaining. We live, thanks be to the God, Emperor, and your lordship. We pray for your health every day. Our good masters, the wise magi, they take care of us. Every month we give them a drop of blood as payment for protecting us, and they use it to brew potions that can detect freaks. We do whatever mystical tasks they require of us, and for that the Magi order the irrigation facilities to yield twice as much. There's this plague going around on Janus though. Makes your hair fall out, your skin go pale, and your voice disappear. Turns average emperor-fearing people into right freak scum of humanity. We call folks like that wretched, scary to look at, better to put them all down. Well, we do, little by little, with poison. Is the governor well? Can't say I have the foggiest. We've never even heard the governor's name, but it still beats living under that accursed heretic, Bistenza the Bloodsucker. I need a shuttle and some means of contacting the astropathic choir so I can summon my void ship here. In a jiffy, your lordship. Please be welcome to our flying ferry. It's right over yonder in the brush. It's also where our expedition's Vox wizard is staying. Clendil shoots you a keen look and asks coldly, will your capital offer protection? I do not wish to be changing one prison for another. Will that there chatty mug be flying to the capital with your lordship? He's got an awful big mouth. He looks like trouble. Yes, the Xenos is coming with me, as my guest. Oh, this won't end well. With guests like those, better grab them by the floppers and to the pyre. Burn them right quick. The high-ranking officers beam with genuine happiness. Danrock steps forward and solemnly says, "Welcome to the bridge, Lord Captain. Like the rest of the crew, we are overjoyed by your return and thank the Emperor for it." The crew stares in awe and terror at the giant towering over the crowd. Some make the sign of the Aquila on their chests, others collapse to their knees with a prayer to the God Emperor on their lips. This wave of pious shock does not seem to discompose Orfar in the slightest. He just chuckles into his beard and glances around curiously. Commorragh's presence alone is enough to elicit sighs of dismay and whispers from the crowd. The Drukhari ignores all monkey reactions to his person and surveys the ship's bridge, examining every detail with an ostentatiously businesslike interest. His markedly casual posture is belied by subtle and unusual tension in his body. Heinrich van Kalox approaches you. He is not looking his best. It seems he has not slept in quite a while. Lord Captain, allow me to express how glad I am that you have rejoined us alive and unharmed. Lord Captain, I'm so glad to see you. I nearly lost it when you up and disappeared on me. I was getting by on stimulants and recaf. I barely slept. Also, I could keep listening to the whispers for any clue on how to find you. The only other time I felt so powerless was when Lady Theodora... Pardon me, Lord Captain, I'm talking nonsense. Welcome back, Road Trader. No trial could break the will of the Emperor's Chosen or stop him from returning to those who have put their hopes in him. First off, how much do you know about my abduction? Not much, Lord Captain. All contact with your party was lost shortly after the supposed pirates boarded the ship and abducted your companion's kinspeople. We immediately sent shuttles with boarding parties to your aid, but we didn't find anyone on the ship save for the crew who had all either been butchered or driven insane. Heinrich's gaze is focused on Elliot. His eyes burn with undisguised hatred and a promise. Elliot's expression is inscrutable, but her eyes are turned to you and you only. Since your lordship's body was never recovered, we hoped against hope that you were still alive. Alas, even our most alert auger operators never spotted anything suspicious, and thus our ignominious failure put you in dire peril. Heinrich's gaze, tense and almost desperate, is focused on you, but he says nothing, for now at least. Dare we inquire what happened to your lordship? Elliot helped the Drukhari abduct me and take me to Commorragh. I don't think there's any point lying. Hostile stares fix on Elliot, and a spiteful whisper hangs in the air. Xeno scum. Where was my ship all this time? At an officers' council, we decided to take the ship to Footfall, where one can hear the gossip of the entire expanse. Our agents tirelessly searched for information about your lordship. Had we heard even a whisper of where you were imprisoned, we would have immediately launched a rescue expedition. Probably for the best that you didn't. While you were away, Lord Captain, we took every effort to find you. That resulted in a number of modifications to the ship that have significantly upgraded it. Thanks to a favorable deal made by the esteemed High Factotum, the ship is now equipped with state-of-the-art auger systems and direction finders from Kiava Gamma. That is quite enough fawning and fussing. I wish to return to my duties immediately. Homunculus Prism. Okay. Rumor. The group of servitors suddenly stirs, their movements frighteningly identical even for automatons. They stare at you and say in perfect unison, "Hello, Nomos have come to welcome you back." We sense that a great deed has been done, a vivid imprint on existence. You did something very important. What was it? I escaped from a dark city of the Xenos and showed them mercy. It suits you. What we see in you, light and connections without the urge to destroy. Did Nomos say it correctly? The servitor chorus, which sounds as a single voice, falls silent. Nomos appears to be waiting for your response in eager anticipation. I'm glad that you are learning to understand me, Nomos. After a long pause, the servitor chorus responds with unexpected forcefulness. Nomos are glad too. We must go now. We will come to speak with you later. Another pause follows, so long that the silence becomes more piercing than a scream. Then the servitors finally break it. We felt sadness when we could no longer communicate with you, and we were worried about your fate. One can detect with the naked eye the moment when Nomos leaves the bridge. The servitors stop moving in sync and slowly shuffle off to their posts. Now then, Lord Captain, shall we get to business? We have a number of items to go over. The Expanse is in flames, your lordship. Squadrons and smaller groups of despicable Drukhari raid our systems. The cult of the Final Dawn has emerged in full force, wreaking havoc everywhere. We've heard rumors of the fall of Santiel's pride, House Corder's world, an outrageous sacrilege given how abundant and inexpensive Promethium is there. Strife has broken out between House Winterscale and House Corder. Chaos reigns everywhere. Only the esteemed Lord Inquisitor is trying to fight it, concentrating all available forces at Footfall to tighten them into a fist to smash the rampaging heretics and Xenos vermin. What kind of Xenos are attacking the Expanse? Drukhari, your lordship. Their squadrons, both large and small, are invading the Expanse, unleashing carnage on planets, taking captives by the thousands and attacking ships. It is as if something has poked their nest, if you will, and now they are lashing out. How fare the worlds of my dynasty? The heretics' malicious acts make it difficult to maintain astropathic contact with the colonies. The cult of the Final Dawn strikes everywhere, and their sleeper agents are active on every planet. On Virbos 6, a mutiny was crushed after a group of newly arrived prisoners succumbed to blasphemous propaganda. But other worlds stand firm against the onslaught of the enemies of humanity and do not succumb to their pernicious influence. So Xavier Calcazar led the defense? Exactly. The esteemed Lord Inquisitor Calcazar declared himself Commandant of the Koronus Expanse and issued orders to requisition troops. He made Footfall his base of operations as it was the most logistically convenient point. From there, his fleet strikes throughout the Expanse, destroying the forces of the Cult of the Final Dawn and the abominable Drukhari. He may be all that currently stands in the way of the Expanse being turned into ashes. Heretics laid siege to Euphrates II, a hallowed forge of the Cognizant's fleet. The Lord Inquisitor sent an enormous force. Now they and the Explorator squadrons recalled from the front line stand together against the heretics in the battle for the sacred planet. What is the problem between Incendiar and Caligos? When the esteemed Lord Inquisitor called upon the rogue traders to join his forces, her ladyship Incendiar Corda heeded the summons, while his lordship Caligos Winterscale ignored it. Rumour has it that his refusal was defiant in manner and served as a pretext for Lady Corda to declare war on House Winterscale. Winterscale's ships are being hunted and his worlds occupied under the pretense of compelling them to submit to the Imperial Creed. Surprisingly, for all his love of fighting, Winterscale is in no hurry to defend his domain. According to intercepted astropathic messages, he and his retinue are currently on Quetzaltema, hunting down a Xenos fleet, Eldari by all appearances. Is there anything else I should know? There have been other minor developments. If you so wish, I will gladly bring you up to speed on the bridge. I would not want them to take any time away from this occasion. Thank you. Report received. Lord Captain, allow me to make a request, a personal one. While you were away, Zachary Weiss received an astropathic message from Dargonus. It concerns my family. The Versarians have been accused of betraying House von Valancius. What? How is it possible? I cannot comprehend it. The Versarians have served the rogue trader dynasty loyally for generations. This is hard to admit, but I am simply crushed by the news. The accusations were leveled by or on behalf of the Drive Stems, the Governor family. Under normal circumstances, the investigation would not have required your involvement, and my entire family would have been. But being of noble stock, the Versarians are entitled under an ancient custom to petition for a rogue trader's personal protection once in a generation. Your personal protection, Lord Captain. Do not deny us that honor, I implore you. Abelard, what if your family is guilty? Then the traitors will accept their due punishment. I have never relied on my position as an immunity guarantee, and I will not even try to sway your decision, as long as it is fair and balanced. Tell Zachary Weiss to send a message to Dargonus saying I will personally take part in the investigation. Will do, Lord Captain. Dira hurriedly enters the study, sniffling and hunching her shoulders. She looks haggard. There are bags under her eyes. Her hair is disheveled and her hands quiver slightly every few moments. With some effort, she focuses her eyes on you and forces a crooked smile. Thank you for agreeing to hear me out, Lord Captain. Here's the deal. After all that happened recently, the voices in my head suddenly flared up and started gabbling worse than before. Don't get the wrong idea, I'm handling them just fine, but I think I know of a way I can get them to settle down a bit. I keep having the same vision over and over again. I'm walking down a corridor and there's this door at the end, and I just know that right behind that door is blissful silence. All I've got to do is reach out and open it, so I touch it with my fingers. I can feel the cold, rough metal, and then I suddenly snap out of it and always find myself staring at a wall in some compartment or other. I look behind me and all the doors on the way are open, but I have no memory of how I got there. Lord Captain, I'll cut to the chase. Please help me find that door. I'm not joking. This is a matter of life and death. My gut tells me it's my last chance to deal with my powers, and if I don't... Before I make my decision, I have questions to ask you. Absolutely, Lord Captain. Ask me anything, I'll try my best to answer. What do you think is behind the door? I have no idea. Maybe it's some incredible implant from the Tech Priest secret stores, or, I don't know, a serum kept in the Inquisition's vault. There's such a thing as archaeotech, right? Plenty of it lying around. Maybe some of it could help me. Dira is trying to maintain a facade of confidence while simultaneously pulling at a hangnail so hard her finger begins to bleed. Do your visions contain any clues on where to start looking? As usual, I think I can hear the muffled cries of some weird birds, and my head is sweating like it's somewhere hot. I'm surrounded by rockcrete, your everyday Imperium stuff, except it reeks of burnt flesh, fried cables, and chemicals. Sorry, that's about it. Nothing more concrete, but I think if we get close enough, I'll sense it immediately. Is the door you describe similar to the door your whispers come from? No, well, I don't know. It feels different. The one from the visions feels very, I don't know, real? I can even touch it. It's definitely not an illusion. It really does exist somewhere. And trust me, neither of us wants to open the other door, the whispering one. I find it difficult to believe that suppressing your abilities is safe. Oh, it's really not. I'm sure you've heard stories about how people tried to lock Psyker's ability away for good, and how those Psykers would then eventually go insane and explode into little pieces. But if there's a way, no, not to shut my door completely, but to make it so a tiny little crack remains, now that's a different story. I can just feel it. If we find this thing, whatever it is, it'll be alright. What if it's a trap? No way, it can't be. Whatever, I'll go in alone if you like. Just please help me get there. I have no more questions. We will find this door, I give you my word. Thank you, Lord Captain. I knew you wouldn't leave me in a bind. As soon as I sense we're close, I'll let you know right away. The Exalted One bless the house of Von Valancius for your largesse of spirit, Shireen. And thank you for deigning to speak with me. Jay turns unusually hesitant now, tentatively choosing the words that only a moment ago rolled off her tongue in an uninterrupted cascade. Here's the thing, Shireen. My network of trade representatives has been stretched a little too thin recently, like a chiffon dress on a whore. Supplies are all over the place, orders aren't being filled, clients are kicking off and not without reason, and revenues plummeting. And if that wasn't bad enough, my guys running things from Footfall have been incommunicado recently, and an astropathic message has finally come in to tell me why. Some Ashmag or Ashmags thrown smite them has captured my gang, and they're threatening to kill every last one of those hard grafting whelps if I don't do what they want. And they only want one thing, my Mercatum Tabula Official in exchange for my gang's lives. Jay tosses a thick mane of hair and grits her teeth, looking more vicious than you have ever seen her. But I'm not giving up my certificate for anything, and nor am I going to leave my guys high and dry. That's why I'm begging for your help and protection, Shireen. If I have to step into a cage of hyenas, I'd rather do it with a lion at my side. Holyman did not say who sent the message? Shireen, you know yourself that all this astropathic chit-chat is nothing but a stream of images, thoughts, intentions, nothing concrete. But I don't need the name of the sender. I already know it. I can smell Falco's stench all over this, or else it's Vladame's doing. This is just that damn Ashmag style as you take him. It could be a bluff. It could, Shireen, but I've been missing the familiar stench of the docks and darling Octi and her bar, and even the stony gaze of the Exalted One that watches over you wherever you are on Footfall. I'm homesick, you see. Tender smile vanishes from Jay's face, leaving a nakedly bleak expression behind. The Exalted One helps those who help themselves, Shireen, and I don't want to risk the lives of my people. When we reach Footfall, I will help your associates. I look forward to that day, Shireen, and praise be to the Exalted One for it bestowing such a miserly portion of haughty indifference upon your heart. I apologize for barging in unannounced. I have received news that I must discuss with you face to face. You may recall that I mentioned Achilles. Henrix pauses before continuing. That Achilles Scalander was transferred into my remit by a colleague. The colleague in question has contacted me. She requires my immediate assistance. Who is this colleague? Emelina Lichtenhart, sage to the Lord Inquisitor. Tell me more about Emelina. Who is she? An acolyte who was assigned a different range of objectives in the Koronus Expanse. Throw and take me. I'm still trying to hide information from you even when I am asking for your help. Emelina is a sage, a unique acolyte of the Inquisition who can absorb huge amounts of knowledge and store it in her own memory more securely than any data crypt. She entered the Lord Inquisitor's retinue before even I did. Talking to her is a strange experience, but that is barely scratching the surface of who she is. Emelina is an incredible scholar, an expert on the forbidden and the illicit, and of course she is a loyal servant of the Golden Throne. You say talking to her is a strange experience. What does that mean? Since birth, Emelina has been different from other people. Specialists from the Inquisition enhanced her natural gift of hypermnesia. There are certain procedures that can be done. She creates separate blocks of memory which she can then lock under a code word or even overwrite with new information. She can organize her mind like a normal person arranges boxes on a shelf. One box might contain information about a recent mission in the Calixus, another the latest decrees of the Lex Imperialis, and another her own childhood memories. This level of compartmentalization might seem somewhat insane to the untrained eye, but it is the price one must pay to turn an ordinary servant into a useful tool of the Inquisition. You said the forbidden and the illicit. What does that entail? Emelina carries knowledge that is forbidden to common servants of the Imperium. She carries this knowledge within herself, as it cannot be entrusted to logs or cogitators. Heinrich frowns. I said before that acolytes of the Inquisition must shoulder a heavy burden to come into contact with things that can penetrate and corrupt the soul. For sages, this is an especially trying ordeal. Emelina's hypermnesia has been enhanced so that she now remembers everything she sees, however briefly. After many years of service, she has examined and seen enough to become an unrivaled expert in this field. You speak of her with obvious affection. Heinrich's eyebrow lifts. Emelina is a worthy acolyte and an invaluable tool in the Inquisition's arsenal. I admire her traits and talents. You failed to mention that Calcazar's other... it's pretty obvious that Calcazar has all kinds of agents working in the Koronus Expanse. I believe I have a clear picture of Emelina now. What was her message? Emelina's message is incomplete and distorted. It is impossible to make sense of every word. The only thing we know for certain is that an acolyte of the Inquisition is asking me to go immediately to Phton 4, a remote planet. In her message, she seems to be requesting either military support or help with an evacuation. But whatever precipitated this request, Emelina would not make it if it weren't absolutely necessary. I know a rogue trader has more than enough other matters to deal with. Nevertheless, I would like to officially request the Lord Captain's assistance in dealing with this issue. I have no authority to demand anything from House von Valancius, therefore I am confining myself to a request for the sake of the Koronus Expanse and the Imperium. How did you circumvent me and acquire the information from the astropathic message? The interrogator's eyebrows lift. Lord Captain, a rogue trader may be in a position to challenge the Inquisition's authority over their soul, mind, and actions, but a rogue trader's astropaths and vox officers? Hardly. Is there any hint of what exactly is threatening Phton 4? Heinrich says nothing for a time, then begins to speak slowly as though he is fighting against resistance. Probably because he's more info than he's used to sharing. For the avoidance of leaks, the details of the objectives of specific acolytes shall remain a secret. All I can tell you is that the primary threat that Emelina was dealing with in the Koronus Expanse was Xenos. In particular, Drukhari raids on distant systems. The Sage is ideally suited for gathering data about the chronology of this problem and finding appropriate methods for combating it. As for what Emelina is doing on Phaeton 4 specifically, I don't know. I don't even know any details about the world itself, only that there are humans there, so either it has been colonized or a garrison has been established there. The cult of the Final Dawn has been my top priority here, and my investigation has given me no cause to turn my attention to that planet. Are you certain you are asking for my help for the sake of the Imperium and not because one of your own is in trouble? I don't think it really matters, to be honest. I shall help you. We shall go to Phaeton 4 and put an end to this threat. Saying Phaeton is a bit weird. I don't know if that's actually how to pronounce it, but we'll go with it until we find out one way or the other. Thank you, Lord Captain. I am confident that this minor deviation from our primary course will help to stem the spread of anarchy in the Koronus Expanse. If only slightly, at the very least we won't be outflanked. I've already spoken to the navigation crew and provided them with the coordinates of Phaeton 4. We can set a course for it as soon as you give the order. Who's next? Oh, no one. Okay. Enough, Xenos. Justice will be done one way or another. Slither all you like, heretic spawn, but you'll never leave this ship unscathed. The bridge is enveloped in an unusual silence. The officers on duty are huddling in the corners, looking on curiously at what is transpiring in the center. Heinrichs. What is going on? Catching sight of you, the curious crew members dash to their posts, leaving only the senior officers in the middle of the bridge. For how long are you going to tolerate this filth on your ship, Stooge? This foul traitor who has already dragged you into the darkness once, and who almost left your protectorate without its sovereign. Rogue traitor, has Eldari heresy clouded your judgment? Treachery always means death, either for the traitor or the one betrayed. You almost died in Commorragh. Your retinue, you know what became of them. Is it not high time that justice was done? Those present nod wordlessly but do not dare to interfere. Now this is a fine spectacle. The inhuman gets what she deserves. Let us all watch and laugh. Your wonderful path has led you into a rather thorny situation, cousin. You refused to beg for mercy in Commorragh, and now you will have to lick the boots of Monkey. Silence, Xenos, your turn will come. Eliot does not react to the curses being slung at her. With an imperturbable expression, she watches the crowd before her, then turns her gaze to you. Anyone else want to share their thoughts? You know, Lord Captain, I will support any order you give, but to keep the Xenos in the retinue, especially after everything that has transpired because of her, it would not be wise. The enemies of humanity have no place among humans, you know this, but death is far too merciful for a sentence. What I endured was far more terrible. You know, Shireen, when a pet refuses to obey their master, they are usually put in a cage at best or turned into a lovely piece of taxidermy at worst. The heinous behavior pattern of the Xeno entity and of specimens similar to her statistically leads to unfavorable and unpredictable outcomes. Eliot blankly surveys the crowd. I think you may have forgotten who gives the orders on this ship. How dare you burst onto the bridge and make demands of me? Deplorable indulgence of the enemies of humanity, rogue trader, and of your own weak will. The one who points out a mistake shall be rewarded for the truth, but if you do not wish to see the truth, remain among the blind. Okay, that was interesting. I did not know that was how that would play out. I thought that was going to be an explain yourself sort of thing, and why question my authority in the sense that, you know, Eliot obviously did help us get back and that sort of thing, so she's at least done that. Are you alright? Your monkey have had it worse. I will live, and the wounds of my soul will eventually heal. They will live too, but their souls will forever bleed painful memories. Do you really not care about what happened, or are you trying to conceal your true feelings again? If you shared with them what you shared with me and Commorragh, they would surely understand your actions. Those words were meant only for you, Alantar. You are the only one I can trust with my feelings. Only to you can I bear my mental wounds. We have a special history and a special bond, Stu. I do not care about the others. Do you really not care about what happened, or are you trying to conceal your true feelings again? I am sorry that my mistake led anyone along the paths of the Dark City. I can see their pain and rage. I understand, but words and pity will not help them. Only time and perhaps revenge will dull their pain for a little while, but you have taken away their chance for revenge, Alantar, and now all we can do is wait. They will forgive you, not all of them and not right away, but they will. Stop it. You cannot believe that, Alantar. I do not need words of comfort. The words of these Monkey do not touch my soul. Only your thoughts matter, yours and mine. I would have never left you at their mercy. Of course not. You are you. Do not leave just yet, Alantar. Before you do, answer my question. I know we have talked a great deal, and you have even accepted what I did. But I also know that the mind and the emotions are not always in accordance. Now that the raging waves of danger have died down and Commorragh has been left far behind, what are your thoughts of me? Yeah, you have already become part of my world. You may have done something disagreeable in my eyes, but that does not make you a stranger. I only know that everyone makes mistakes and everyone hides the parts of their personalities they are not proud of. That is true of both humans and Eldari. I wish I could argue otherwise, but I made a mistake and I conceal my feelings and emotions from you. Perhaps you have done the same. But as long as we walk the same road, we have a chance to become better than we were before. Until we meet again, Alantar, may the darkness scatter into a myriad of new stars before you. Okay, that was a lot of information and some interesting developments, although I guess it shouldn't be too surprising at how everyone feels about Elliot. Okay, so we have some quests to take care of. Visit Dargonus, Blood Ties. Okay. The Door. Rat hunting. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Price of Humanity. Ton 4. Okay. Hunting Grounds. Go to the world of Quetzaltema. Nameless Star. Okay. Interesting. Talk to Nomos about Theory Waits. Perhaps. Okay, so we're still waiting on that one. The path we lost. Alright, let's go talk to Elliot aboard the Void Ship then. Abelard Bridge Officer. Bridge Technomat Navigator. Quick save it here, and then we'll have another chat to Elliot.
The Dark City released us from its thorny embrace. The wounds of the body will heal. But what about the wounds of the soul? Crudarach fell, and its demise shattered the fragile lives of countless children of Assyrian. Scattered across this part of the galaxy, hounded by the Monkey, pursued by the Dark Cousins, imprisoned by the servants of She Who Thirsts. Hatred is strangling me like a snake, and fear is coursing through my body like a burning poison. For the path I chose is leading me down the roads of failure. I can neither hold back my grief nor rein in my anger. And yet, I am powerless to stray from my path. Pay no heed to my fleeting wrath, Alantar. When the will slips away, the soul trembles with rampant emotions. But I will resign my heart to meekness, for there is no other way a marked outcast can help their fellow Eldari wandering in the dark.
Many terrible things happen in Commorragh. Are you alright?
I found myself in the Dark City after following the twisted roads of truth and lies. And although the truth blossomed like an ugly bud and scratched my soul with its thorns, I did find the answers to my questions. Those who come back from the dark of the webway will never be the same. But it is we who change while the surrounding world remains imminent. This thought gives me strength.
Commorragh suffered an unenviable fate. I'm sorry for your world is lost.
I have no need for your sympathy, Elentark. Besides, neither Monkey nor my dark kin found the decaying remnants of Commorragh. Perhaps all is not lost. Perhaps we may yet bring back what has been taken.
What will happen to the seer now?
As soon as Eklendil gathers his strength, he will depart the Lilithon through the Webway Gate. Do not ask where his path takes him. He follows the road of his own destiny. It is as it should be.
So where does the path of the outcast lead you now?
On the trail of a monkey called Caligos Winterscale. Even a worm may harm a wounded tiger by bringing infection into an open wound. And the wounds of my people have been bleeding ever since Commorragh's demise. The spirits of my kin need a poultice, a hope, not the executioner's sword already poised to fall.
Okay then. Other questions?
You may try.
Nah, nothing else. That's fine. Okay, so... Oh, that's it? Okay. Thought there would be a bit more. Or whatever is meant to be happening with Caligos. I thought there would be a quest there too. Alright then, let's take a quick check of the shops. I would like to order the... I would like to replace the painting of the late Theodore in my chambers. Yeah, let's go with that. It's a bit weird to have the painting of Theodora still there. You will be done, your lordship. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, I would like to order the shipping and transportation of some goods. Okay, let's see if there's some new gear. Yes, there is some new gear. Alright. Omniscient axe, I think that's pretty good for Pascal. Force field emitter. After using run and gun, the wearer gains 15% cover efficiency when in cover for 1 round. Okay. Advanced med kit. Alright, nice. Oh, okay, our reputation is too low for that. For mine. We have 53 profit factor. Okay. Alright. Okay, we've got quite a little bit. Roaring Thunder. Okay, there. Goes up quite high. 29. Hymn of Vengeance. Bolter. Okay. Is there anything else here? Hecuta Pattern. Plasma Battery. Nice. Nope, can't. Profit factor is too low. Damn it. Okay. Never mind. Brinkwalker Pendant. The wearer can move without provoking attacks of opportunity as long as they have less than 50% wounds left. Okay. That's fine. Furor. Eldari Plasma Grenade. Throne. What the hell? Okay. That's weird. Whatever the hell that is. Alright, so we have a bit of stuff to pick up. Let's see what other Mars Pattern Power Axe, okay. Volition Inhibitor. Neurostimulant Commander's Visor. Break their ranks. Holy Power Armor. Okay, that looks pretty nice for Ulfar. Mars Pattern Flamer. Okay, whoa, that's a lot of damage. 40 to 55. Omniscience Providence. Mars Pattern Thunderhammer. Okay, so there's some pretty good gear here. Now, I'm looking for a potential upgrade for Sniper Rifle. Overcharged Plasma Gun. Good damage. Commander's Chrono. Always has the highest initiative in combat. That's pretty interesting. Kassakin. 100% cover efficiency against area attacks. Okay. Righteous Justice Judex. Flamer. Whoa, that looks like a really crazy flamer, actually. Hymn of Vengeance. Okay, so there's no sniper rifle there. Anti-vehicle revolver. Wow, okay. 20 impact damage. Double barrel shotgun. Star Mist Scarf. Psy Rating. Compensator gloves. Improved heavy bolter. Panoply of the Assassin. So is it here? Do they have... Doesn't look like it. Slayer's Delight. Okay. Breath of Purgation. It's an Eldari weapon. Looks like a fire pike of some sort. Implacable Tempest las gun. Okay, it's not a sniper rifle though. Death Dealer gloves. Increased by plus 2% for each critical hit and for each enemy they killed until the end of combat. Okay, so there are no more sniper rifles available in these shots. So any upgrades will have to come from finding them while we're exploring. Let's see. Heinrichs is over here. You know what? I think this is a good place to end the episode, and then we've got a lot of catching up to do, so I think the next episode we'll do a bit more chatting with our team members, just to have a look at what they have to say, and maybe we won't talk to all of them, but we'll continue exploring as well. So we finally got out of Commorragh. That was the end of chapter 3. We're now into chapter 4, and we have a lot of stuff to deal with. We've got to go to Footfall. Everyone's going nuts. Oh, what's in contracts? Okay, it's just the same contracts. That's fine. So there's a lot of chaos in the Koronus Expanse and a lot of fires to put out. So the first thing we might have to do is go to Footfall and have a chat with the Inquisitor and see how that goes. So yeah, we'll see what happens, and we might talk to one or two of them and then continue exploring, and then next time we're back on the void ship, talk to another one or two of them and go from there. Thanks a lot for joining me, and I'm excited to get into chapter 4 and figure out what's going on and what we have to do. So thanks a lot for joining me up until this point, and I hope you'll continue to join me as we head towards whatever adventures the 4th chapter will bring. Thanks a lot, and see you then.